Poor leg circulation after 60 can triple your risk of falling. But here's what almost nobody tells you. A simple, everyday drink, something you probably already have at home, may help support better circulation in just a few hours. Not weeks, not months, just a few hours. Every year in the United States, more than 3 million older adults are hospitalized because of falls. And one silent culprit shows up again and again. Reduced blood flow to the legs. Cold feet, tingling toes, night cramps. These aren't just signs of getting older. They're warning lights from your vascular system saying, hey, things aren't moving the way they should. And there's a scientific reason behind it. After 60, your body produces far less nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps your blood vessels relaxed and open. In fact, studies show older adults lose up to 70% of their natural ability to dilate blood vessels. And because your feet are farthest from your heart, they're often the first place to suffer. But here's the good news. You can support healthier circulation without expensive medications. In this video, we're counting down 10 powerful drinks, from least effective to absolutely game-changing, that can help wake up your blood vessels and get nutrients flowing again. And trust me, you don't want to miss the top 3. If you click away before we get there, you might skip over options that could transform the way your legs feel within 24 to 48 hours. Our number 1 drink is so effective, it outperforms several popular supplements sold in pharmacies. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. How old are you, and do you think this video will help you? Share your age in the comments. My team and I do our best to reply to each message. Thank you for stopping by Senior Health Tips, Healthy Aging. Now, let's get started. Number 2, water. Most people think plain water is some kind of miracle drink, the answer to every health problem. But the truth is a little less magical and a lot more interesting. Water is absolutely essential, but when we're talking about blood flow to your legs, it's the foundation, not the engine. Think of your bloodstream like a highway. If you're dehydrated, your blood gets thicker, like rush hour traffic. Everything moves slower, nutrients take longer to reach your feet, and waste products don't clear out as well. Staying hydrated thins that traffic a bit and helps your heart pump more efficiently. That's great, but here's the catch. Water by itself doesn't tell your blood vessels to open up wider. It doesn't boost nitric oxide, and it doesn't really relax those tight, stiff arteries in your legs. That's why I say water is like motor oil in a car. You absolutely need it, or the engine burns out. But motor oil doesn't make the car go faster. For speed, you still need an engine and gas. In circulation terms, those engine and gas are the special compounds in the other drinks we'll talk about, the ones that actually trigger your blood vessels to widen. So how should older adults in America use water wisely? Aim to sip throughout the day instead of chugging a huge amount at once. Keep a glass or bottle nearby and take small drinks with your medications and meals. Stop heavy drinking of water 1 to 2 hours before bed so you're not getting up 3 times a night and risking a fall on the way to the bathroom. And if your doctor has told you to limit fluids because of heart or kidney issues, always follow that advice first. One more thing. Drinking water instead of sugary sodas or sweet tea is already a big win for your circulation. But in terms of directly boosting blood flow to your legs, its power is actually very low. Number, green tea. If you've always believed green tea is some kind of superfood, hold on just a second. Green tea is healthy, no doubt about that. But when it comes to improving circulation in your legs, especially after age 60, it's not nearly as powerful as most people think. Green tea is rich in catechins, those antioxidant compounds everyone talks about. They do support overall vascular health, but their impact is more like a slow, gentle nudge rather than a strong push. For many older adults, especially those dealing with cold feet, numbness, or nighttime cramps, that gentle nudge just isn't enough. Catechins don't directly trigger your blood vessels to open up the way stronger nitric oxide boosting drinks do. And here's something most people don't realize. Green tea contains caffeine. Not a huge amount, but enough that in some individuals, particularly folks who are sensitive or already have tight, stiff arteries, Caffeine can actually cause temporary vasoconstriction, meaning the blood vessels narrow instead of open. So instead of helping your legs feel warmer, it might leave them feeling just as cold as before, or even colder. Another challenge? Green tea works slowly. The research shows you need around 8 to 12 weeks of consistent drinking to see noticeable vascular benefits. That's 3 months of patience, and even then, the improvements are usually mild. But one of the biggest reasons people don't see results is surprisingly simple. Most Americans brew it wrong. We pour boiling, bubbling hot water right onto the tea bag. When you do that, you can destroy up to half the catechins you're trying to get in the first place. Green tea needs water around 160 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, not the full rolling boil. I once had a 65-year-old patient who told me she drank green tea every single morning for 3 months, hoping to warm up her feet. She was frustrated because nothing changed. When I asked how she brewed it, she said, "I just microwave the water until it boils." Well, that explained everything. So yes, green tea has its place. It's calming, hydrating, and full of antioxidants. But as a tool for boosting leg circulation quickly, it simply doesn't have the muscle. Number 8. Tart cherry juice. If you love a sweet, rich, tangy drink, Tart cherry juice probably sounds like a dream. It's delicious, it's packed with antioxidants, and yes, it has real anti-inflammatory benefits. A lot of people over 60 reach for it, hoping it will soothe their legs, ease that nighttime cramping, or help their feet feel a little less stiff. And on paper, it should help. But there's a catch most people don't see coming. Tart cherries are loaded with anthocyanins, the deep red pigments that help calm inflammation inside your blood vessels. That part is great. Inflammation makes arteries stiffer and less responsive, so anything that cools that down can support healthier circulation. But here's the flip side. Tart cherry juice is naturally high in sugar. A single cup can have 25 to 30 grams. For anyone over 60, especially those dealing with pre-diabetes, diabetes, or insulin resistance, that sugar spike can do more harm than good. Why? Because when your insulin shoots up, your blood vessels actually tighten. Insulin can trigger vasoconstriction, the exact opposite of what we want. So you end up in this weird situation where the antioxidants are trying to help, but the sugar is pushing back just as hard. It's like taking 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. That doesn't mean tart cherry juice is off limits. It just means you need to use it wisely. If you enjoy it, dilute it. 1 part juice to 2 or 3 parts water. That cuts the sugar dramatically, but still keeps the anti-inflammatory compounds. And always, always drink it in the morning. Your body handles sugar far better earlier in the day when your metabolism is naturally more active. Drinking it at night? That's a recipe for higher blood sugar and rougher sleep. For the right person, and used in the right way, tart cherry juice can be a helpful addition. But as a tool for boosting circulation quickly, it has some real limitations. Number 7. Pomegranate juice. Pomegranate juice is one of those drinks that looks healthy, sounds healthy, and honestly, it is healthy in a lot of ways. It's bright, bold, slightly tart, and packed with antioxidants. But when we're talking specifically about leg circulation, especially for adults over 60, the story gets a little more complicated. What makes pomegranate juice special is a compound called punicalagin, a powerful antioxidant you won't find in many other foods. Punicalagin helps protect nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps your blood vessels relaxed and open. Think of nitric oxide like the signal that tells your arteries, "Hey, loosen up! Let the blood flow!" But nitric oxide is fragile. It breaks down quickly when your body is under stress or inflamed. Punicalagin acts like a shield, helping nitric oxide last longer and work more effectively. There's even research showing pomegranate juice can help reduce the buildup of plaque inside arteries, that slow, silent process that makes blood flow weaker as we age. So yes, on the surface, this drink has real vascular benefits. But here come the downsides, and they're important. Pomegranate juice is loaded with natural sugar. A single cup can contain more sugar than a can of soda. For older adults, especially anyone managing blood sugar, insulin resistance, or metabolic issues, that's a problem. Sugar spikes can tighten blood vessels, making circulation worse in the short term. Imagine trying to widen a hose while someone else is twisting it tighter. That's what these sugar spikes can do to your arteries. And then there's the cost. Good quality pomegranate juice isn't cheap. The stuff that actually contains punicalagin, not the watered-down, sugary cocktail versions, can run $8, $10, even $15 a bottle. If you're drinking it regularly, that adds up fast. So what if you genuinely enjoy it and still want to use it safely? Here's how to make it work without hurting your circulation. First, always choose 100% pure pomegranate juice with no added sugar. The blends and cocktails don't have the antioxidants you're looking for. Second, dilute it. 1 part juice to 2 or 3 parts water. You'll still get the punicalagin, but with a fraction of the sugar. Third, drink it in the morning, when your body is better at handling carbohydrates. Avoid drinking it at night. That's when blood sugar tends to linger and spike. Used wisely, pomegranate juice can be a helpful helper for your blood vessels. But it's far from the strongest option on this list. Number 6. Cocoa drink. If you hear cocoa drink and immediately think of sugary hot chocolate with whipped cream on top, this isn't that. And if that's the picture in your mind, you might be missing out on one of the most underrated circulation boosters out there. Real, unsweetened cocoa, the dark, slightly bitter kind, is loaded with flavonols, special plant compounds that can actually help your body increase nitric oxide levels within just a few hours. And nitric oxide is the molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and open up, allowing warm, oxygen-rich blood to finally reach your legs and feet more easily. For many older adults, that can mean less heaviness, less coldness, and noticeably better comfort during the day. Here's the key, though. It only works if you use real cocoa, not the instant hot chocolate packets filled with sugar, creamers, and artificial flavors. Those mixes might taste great, but they completely wipe out the benefits. What you want is pure cocoa powder, the kind with nothing added. And don't worry, you don't need to be a chef to make it. For most older adults, the best method is the simplest. Take a tablespoon or 2 of pure cocoa powder, whisk it into hot water or warm milk, dairy or non-dairy both work, and sweeten it lightly with a tiny amount of stevia or monk fruit if you need to cut the bitterness. Avoid sugar. It cancels out the flavonol benefits and tightens the very blood vessels we're trying to open. Here's a simple way to picture what cocoa does inside your body. Imagine your arteries are garden hoses. With age, cold weather, and inflammation, those hoses stiffen and narrow. Flavonols work like warm water running through them, helping the walls loosen so blood can flow freely again. Not permanently, but enough to give you a noticeable improvement for several hours. Research backs this up. In multiple studies, participants who drank high flavonol cocoa experienced measurable increases in blood vessel dilation within just 2 hours. Many even reported warmer hands and feet the same afternoon. So yes, cocoa is delicious, but the real magic lies in its science. Just remember, pure cocoa, brewed gently, lightly sweetened, and enjoyed consistently. Number 5. Watermelon juice. Watermelon might feel like the ultimate summer treat, light, refreshing, and something you'd enjoy at a family barbecue. But here's what most people don't realize. It's also one of nature's most powerful nitric oxide boosters. Under that bright red flesh is a compound called L-citrulline, and this little amino acid plays a huge role in how well blood flows through your legs. L-citrulline works like this. Once you drink it, your body converts it into L-arginine, which then becomes nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. When those vessels open up, blood pressure eases, circulation improves, and suddenly your legs and feet feel warmer, lighter, and a whole lot more alive. Many people notice the difference in just a few hours. What makes watermelon juice even more interesting is how gentle it is on your blood sugar. Yes, it tastes sweet, but its glycemic load is actually lower than many other fruit juices. That means it doesn't hit your bloodstream like a sugar bomb. The high water content and natural fiber help slow the sugar's impact, making it a friendlier option for older adults, especially those trying to keep blood sugar in check. Plus, unlike other juices that give you antioxidants but no real circulation lift, watermelon juice offers both hydration and a direct pathway to more nitric oxide. It's like getting refreshing flavor and better blood flow in the same glass. Of course, nothing is perfect. Watermelon is seasonal, especially here in the US. Sure, you can sometimes find it year-round at bigger grocery stores, but the quality drops off and the price goes up. And the pre-bottled watermelon juices? Some are great, but others are packed with added sugars or heat-processed in ways that reduce L-citrulline. So if you want the full benefit, fresh juice is always the best. But that's not always practical in winter months. If you enjoy watermelon, try blending or juicing it when it's in season and freezing portions for later. A simple 8-ounce glass can provide enough L-citrulline to noticeably support blood pressure and leg circulation. Number 4. Hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea is one of those hidden gems you don't hear much about, but once you learn what it can do, you start wondering why it isn't in every pantry across America. If there's a tea that truly deserves to be called a natural medicine, this is the one. What makes hibiscus so special is the way it supports your endothelium, the ultra-thin inner lining of your blood vessels. Think of the endothelium like the smooth Teflon coating inside a non-stick pan. When it's healthy, blood flows effortlessly. When it's damaged or inflamed, everything becomes harder, tighter, and more resistant. Hibiscus helps calm that inflammation and restore flexibility, which means your arteries can open up more easily and deliver warm, oxygen-rich blood down to your legs and feet. And here's where it gets even more impressive. Hibiscus tea has been shown to noticeably lower blood pressure. Not a tiny drop, but a real, measurable change. Many older adults describe feeling lighter, less tense, or less pressure in their chest and shoulders after drinking it consistently. For anyone struggling with circulation issues tied to high blood pressure, this can make a world of difference. But, like anything powerful, you have to use it the right way. Most people dip a tea bag in hot water for 30 seconds and call it done. Unfortunately, that barely pulls out the active compounds. To get the full vascular benefits, you need to let it steep for a full 10 minutes. The water should turn a deep ruby red. That's how you know the antioxidants and organic acids have been released. You can drink it warm or chill it and enjoy it as a tart, refreshing iced tea. A tiny bit of stevia or monk fruit is fine if you need sweetness, but avoid sugar, which works against everything hibiscus is trying to do. One important reminder: hibiscus tea can lower blood pressure very effectively. So if you're already on blood pressure medication, especially diuretics or ACE inhibitors, talk to your doctor first. The combination can make your pressure drop too low, leaving you lightheaded or dizzy when you stand up. Used wisely, hibiscus tea is powerful, affordable, and incredibly effective. A true ally for older adults trying to improve circulation naturally. Number 3. Celery juice. Celery juice might be one of the most debated drinks out there. Some people swear by it, others roll their eyes. But when it comes to circulation, especially in the legs, it's surprisingly powerful. And the reason why has nothing to do with trends or hype. It's pure, simple biochemistry. Celery is naturally rich in nitrates, and nitrates follow a very specific pathway in your body called the nitrate-nitric oxide cycle. Don't worry, this isn't a chemistry class. Here's the easy version. When you drink celery juice, the nitrates don't turn into nitric oxide right away. First, they need to be converted into nitrites, and that happens with the help of the good bacteria living in your mouth. Then, once the nitrites reach your stomach, your digestive acids convert them into nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. This is why celery juice can noticeably warm your feet, ease heaviness in your legs, and even improve walking endurance, sometimes within hours. but it only works if that nitrate pathway is intact. And here's something most people don't know. Using strong mouthwash right before or after drinking celery juice can kill the very bacteria that activate the whole process. No bacteria, no nitrites. No nitrites, no nitric oxide. So if you drink celery juice and don't feel anything, that might be the reason. Now, let's talk about doing it right. To get a meaningful amount of nitrates, you need 4 to 5 large celery stalks, enough to produce about 12 to 16 ounces of juice. A slow juicer works best, but a blender and fine strainer can get the job done in a pinch. Drink it on an empty stomach, ideally first thing in the morning. That's when your body absorbs it most efficiently and when your nitric oxide pathway is most active. Let me give you a real example. I once worked with a 70-year-old man who'd been dealing with cold feet and calf tightness for years. He started drinking fresh celery juice every morning. No mouthwash, just the juice. By day 3, he told me his feet felt warmer. By week 2, he said he could walk around the block without stopping to rest, something he hadn't done comfortably in years. Celery juice isn't glamorous. It's not sweet or fancy. But for boosting circulation naturally, it packs a punch far bigger than you'd expect. Number 2. Arugula smoothie. Arugula might look like just another leafy green you toss into a salad, but don't let its size fool you. This stuff is a natural nitrate goldmine. Gram for gram, arugula has more nitrate than almost any other vegetable, even more than spinach or beet greens. And because nitrates are the raw material your body uses to create nitric oxide, arugula becomes a quiet powerhouse for anyone struggling with cold feet, heavy legs, or sluggish circulation. What makes arugula special isn't just how much nitrate it contains, but how easily your body can use it. When you blend it into a smoothie, those nitrates become incredibly accessible. It's like unlocking the full potential of the plant in one simple drink. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Arugula in a smoothie? Isn't that going to taste like peppery lawn clippings? Not if you make it the right way. One of the easiest, most senior-friendly recipes is also the gentlest in flavor. 2 cups of fresh arugula, 1 cup of blueberries, half a banana, and a cup of unsweetened almond milk. Blend until smooth. The fruit softens the peppery bite, the almond milk adds creaminess, and the arugula, well, that's your nitric oxide booster right there. And the best part? You don't need weeks and weeks to notice a difference. Most people feel something within 7 to 14 days. Maybe your feet don't feel quite as icy in the morning. Maybe you're standing up from a chair with a little more ease. Maybe that afternoon heaviness in your calves isn't as strong as it used to be. Those small changes are signs your blood vessels are relaxing, opening, and letting more warm, oxygen-rich blood get where it needs to go. Arugula smoothies are also incredibly versatile. If blueberries aren't your thing, swap in strawberries. If you want extra creaminess, use Greek yogurt. If you're managing blood sugar, keep the fruit light. You can make it fit your lifestyle without losing the circulation benefits. Number 1. Beetroot juice. If you had to choose one single drink to improve circulation, one that delivers fast, reliable results for people over 60, beetroot juice would be it. No contest. This isn't a trendy health fad or a miracle cure. It's simply the most concentrated, most effective natural source of nitrates you can put in a glass. Beets contain an unusually high amount of dietary nitrate, far more than celery, lettuce, or even arugula when measured ounce for ounce. And because beetroot juice delivers those nitrates in a liquid form, your body absorbs them quickly and efficiently. That's why so many older adults feel a difference just 2 to 3 hours after drinking it. Their feet warm up, their legs feel lighter, and that heavy, dragging sensation starts to ease. But for beet juice to work its magic, you have to use it correctly. The sweet spot is about 8 ounces, roughly 240 milliliters, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. That's when your nitric oxide pathway is most responsive. And drinking it before breakfast allows your body to convert those nitrates into usable nitric oxide without competing with food digestion. Now, a quick word of caution. Beets are high in oxalates, natural compounds that can contribute to kidney stones in people who are prone to them. Most older adults can enjoy beetroot juice safely, but if you've had kidney stones before, especially calcium oxalate stones, talk with your doctor before making it a daily habit. And don't be alarmed if your urine or stool turns pink or reddish afterward. It's called beeturia, and it's completely harmless. Let me share a real example. I once worked with a 72-year-old woman who struggled with poor circulation for years. Her morning walks had become shorter and slower because her calves tightened up so quickly. She started drinking a small glass of beetroot juice every morning. Nothing else changed. By the end of the first week, she told me her legs felt less stiff. By week 2, she was walking her old route again without stopping. What changed wasn't her muscles, it was the blood flow feeding them. Beetroot juice isn't glamorous. It's earthy, a little messy, and definitely not the sweetest drink on this list. But when it comes to opening up blood vessels and restoring warmth and mobility, it's simply unmatched. A lot of people over 60 work hard to improve their circulation. They drink the right things, walk more, try to stretch, but they're still frustrated because nothing seems to fully kick in. And often the problem isn't what they're adding, it's what they're unknowingly doing every day that works against them. Here are 5 habits quietly sabotaging circulation for millions of Americans, along with simple fixes to turn things around. 1. Sitting too long. Long periods of sitting, whether at a desk, in the car, or even watching TV, slow blood flow dramatically. Picture a garden hose that's bent in the middle. Everything just backs up. I had a patient in his late 60s who sat in the same recliner for hours each afternoon. His feet were always cold. The fix? Set a timer and stand up every 30 minutes, even just for a minute or two. March in place, flex your ankles, or take a quick lap around the room. Small movements wake up your circulation fast. 2. Eating too much salt and sugar. Salt stiffens blood vessels, sugar inflames them. Together they're like a 1-2 punch to your circulation. Many older adults don't realize how much hidden salt and sugar are in everyday foods. Canned soups, frozen meals, breakfast cereals, even healthy sauces. A simple swap like replacing sugary snacks with nuts or fruit, or choosing low-sodium broth, can make a measurable difference. One woman I worked with cut out her nightly sweet tea and saw her ankle swelling drop within a week. 3. Taking medications that constrict blood vessels. Some common medications, decongestants, certain migraine drugs, even stimulants, can narrow your blood vessels. This doesn't mean you should stop your prescriptions, but it does mean you should ask your doctor, is anything I'm taking reducing circulation? Sometimes there's an alternative that doesn't tighten the arteries as much. 4. Overusing mouthwash. This one surprises almost everyone. Strong antibacterial mouthwash kills the exact bacteria your body needs to convert nitrates into nitric oxide. Without those bacteria, drinks like beet juice and celery juice simply don't work. If you love mouthwash, use it only once a day, or switch to a milder version. And avoid rinsing within 1 hour of drinking nitrate-rich beverages. 5. Skipping breakfast. When you go too long without food, stress hormones rise and blood vessels naturally tighten. Many seniors skip breakfast thinking it helps control weight, but it can backfire by reducing circulation and energy. Even a small morning meal, yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie, can help stabilize blood flow for the entire day. Fixing these habits doesn't require big life changes. Just a few mindful adjustments can help your circulation respond much faster to the drinks and routines you're already trying. And once these roadblocks are gone, the improvements often feel almost instant. When it comes to circulation, most day-to-day symptoms are annoying, but not dangerous. Cold feet, mild tingling, a little heaviness. Those can usually be improved with lifestyle changes. But there are 5 red flag signs that tell you something deeper may be going on. And when these show up, it's time to call your doctor sooner rather than later. These warning signs aren't meant to scare you, they're here to protect you. 1. Sudden or unusual changes in skin color. If your feet or lower legs start turning blue, purple, unusually pale, or blotchy, That's your body waving a big red flag. It means blood isn't getting where it needs to go. I once saw an older gentleman whose toes turned a faint purplish shade after short walks, a sign of reduced arterial flow. Don't ignore color changes. They're one of the clearest indicators your circulation needs immediate attention. 2. Pain that hits when you walk, then disappears when you rest. This is called claudication, and it's more serious than everyday muscle soreness. Imagine trying to water your garden with a hose that's partially blocked. The pressure drops, and everything struggles. In your legs, blocked arteries cause pain during movement because your muscles aren't getting enough oxygen. If you can walk only a short distance before needing to stop, that's a classic sign to get checked. 3. Swelling in your legs, ankles, or feet. A little swelling at the end of a long day happens, but persistent or increasing swelling, especially if one leg is noticeably bigger than the other, signals a problem with fluid return or even a potential clot. A woman I worked with noticed her socks leaving deep marks every evening. That wasn't just age, it was her circulation struggling to move blood and lymph back up the legs. 4. Big changes in foot temperature. Cold feet alone aren't always alarming, but sudden coldness, only one foot being cold, or temperature swings throughout the day are signs your blood flow is unstable. Healthy circulation keeps your feet at a steady, warm temperature. If they're icy one moment and warm the next for no clear reason, that fluctuation is worth discussing with a professional. 5. Wounds or sores that take forever to heal. This is one of the most important signs. When blood flow is poor, the body simply can't deliver nutrients, oxygen, and immune support to repair tissue. A small scratch that lingers for weeks, a blister that won't close, or a dry crack that keeps reopening are all signs your circulation is falling behind. In older adults, especially those with diabetes, this can become serious very quickly. These 5 symptoms don't automatically mean something dangerous is happening, but they do mean your body is trying to tell you something. Paying attention early can prevent bigger complications later. And when you add your circulation-supporting habits on top of proper medical care, that's when the real progress begins. At the end of the day, everything we've talked about comes back to one simple truth. Your body wants to heal, and when you give it the right tools, the right drinks, the right habits, the right awareness, your circulation can improve far more than most people realize. Poor blood flow isn't just getting older. It's a challenge, a signal, a ketu chung that millions of people over 60 are battling every single day. And the good news is, you're not powerless against it. If you've been dealing with cold feet, heavy legs, or that frustrating sense that your body isn't moving the way it used to, remember this. Progress is absolutely possible. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to start and stay consistent long enough to feel the shift. So here's my challenge to you. Commit to 30 days. Pick even just 1 or 2 of the drinks we talked about. Beetroot juice, Arugula smoothie, Hibiscus tea, whatever fits your lifestyle, and give your blood vessels what they've been missing. Take photos, track how your legs feel, and notice the difference week by week. You might be surprised by how quickly your body responds when the circulation switches back on. And before you go, if today's video helped you understand your health a little better or gave you a strategy you want to try, please take a second to like this video, leave a comment sharing your age and your experience, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode. Your engagement helps us reach more seniors who need this information just as much as you do. You're not alone in this journey, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. Let's keep moving forward together.